My girlfriend hooked up with her boss to snag a promotion, then claimed that's how driven people operate. I responded, "Congrats on your achievement." Then I forwarded the evidence to the boss's wife with a brief message. "I believe you need to know about this." The boss got sacked, and my ex's promotion was revoked that same week. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Most of you tuning in still haven't subscribed, so if these tailies are hitting the spot, please smash that subscribe. I'm lounging on my sofa in a completely silent apartment, gazing at my laptop. Displayed is an email I dispatched roughly an hour earlier. It included 2 attachments and just 1 sentence, and I suspect it was the most crucial email I'll ever compose. My girlfriend of 3 years, Chloe, 28F, had just informed me that sleeping with her boss was a valid professional strategy. I'm 31M, and I'm still attempting to wrap my head around the sheer insanity I just encountered. Chloe has always been targeting. She was crushed, but it went beyond that. She was furious. I recall her striding back and forth in our living room, declaring she didn't even earn it. She's not superior at the role. She just navigates the system more effectively. I have to learn how to navigate the system. That ought to have been a huge warning sign. Recently, our dynamic had shifted noticeably. She was pulling extremely long hours constantly. But when I'd inquire about the specific problem, eagerly anticipating our upcoming planning meeting, my stomach dropped instantly. It was that instinctive sensation when you sense trouble but hope it's not real. I convinced myself I was overreacting, but I needed confirmation. My hands trembled as I opened the messaging app. And there it was, an entire log, scores of exchanges, graphic, specific, irrefutable, messages detailing their rendezvous at hotels, images she'd shared with him. And interspersed were discussions about her advancement. He'd type things like, "Keep me satisfied and I'll ensure you secure that senior analyst position." And she'd respond, "I'm all about collaboration." I felt nauseous. I nearly shattered the laptop, but another idea pierced the fury. Evidence. I required evidence. I rapidly sent the most incriminating 6 screenshots and 2 of the photos to a fresh email I set up immediately. I then accessed her directory and erased any trace of my forwarding. It was detached. It was deliberate. I hardly knew this version of myself. I bided my time until she emerged from the shower. She entered the living room wrapped in a towel, humming softly, and inquired what I'd like to stream on TV. I simply stared at her. My tone was even. "Congrats on the promotion, Chloe." Her expression shifted from bewilderment to alarm. "What?" I viewed the messages, I stated, with Mark. She didn't weep, she didn't refute it. She folded her arms, adopting a challenging stance. And then she uttered it, the phrase that will be etched in my mind eternally. "Listen, Tom, I understand you're distressed, but this is reality. This is how the system works. It's what motivated individuals do to progress." I just gazed at her. She had been unfaithful, shattered 3 years of our shared existence, and she was portraying it as a career milestone. She genuinely believed it was warranted. I didn't shout. I didn't debate. I merely nodded gradually. "Congrats on your achievement," I remarked. The discussion ended. She believes she triumphed. She assumes I'll simply concede and move on. She has no clue what I was viewing on my laptop right before I began drafting this post. You see, her boss Mark is married, and his wife Jennifer maintains a prominent presence as a community philanthropy leader. Locating her was straightforward. Dispatching that email was even simpler. The match isn't finished. It's merely beginning. Update 1, it's been 24 hours, the most endless 24 hours I've experienced. I haven't rested. I've been fueled by caffeine and a steely resolve. Following our exchange last night, Chloe appeared almost eased. She actually remarked, "I'm relieved we addressed it openly. Honesty is preferable." The depth of her self-deception was astounding. She began filling an overnight bag and mentioned she'd crash with her friend Amy for a couple of days to allow me time to digest. She completely anticipated returning. As she departed, she brushed my arm and said, "Don't discard us. Tom, this was a professional tactic, not a romantic involvement. It's purely professional." "You're correct," I replied, meeting her gaze directly. "It is purely professional." She grinned, assuming I comprehended. I assisted with her bag to the exit. The moment she left, I completed my strategy. I had already located Mark's wife, Jennifer, via the web. She served on boards for several key local nonprofits and ran a personal site about her charitable efforts. Her blog's contact section listed an email. It seemed destined. I accessed the anonymous account I'd made. I added the screenshots of the texts and the two most revealing photos. For the email body, I wrote only one line. I'm regretful to deliver this, but I believe you need to view it. I fixated on the screen for about 5 minutes, then pressed send. The sensation wasn't gratification, not yet. It was merely inevitability, like I'd nudged a massive rock from a towering peak. The initial indication that the rock had impacted arrived. Around midday, I received a message from my pal Kevin, who is employed at the same firm as Chloe and Mark, though in another division. His text read, "Man, wild stuff unfolding here. Mark was pulled from a session by execs from headquarters an hour back. Just spotted him passing with 2 HR reps looking like he was heading to his doom. Gossip is rampant. I experienced a dark smirk. The strategy was underway. The call from Chloe hit at 4 p.m. She was frantic. "Tom, what have you done?" she yelled. "Through the line. Mark phoned me. He's falling apart. He said Jennifer is aware. She knows it all. How could she find out? Did you disclose to anyone?" I allowed her to unravel briefly before replying, my voice steady. "I haven't a clue what you mean, Chloe. You were the one in the affair. Such matters tend to surface. Don't fib to me," she wailed. "This is your doing. Mark mentioned his wife received an unnamed email. You orchestrated this. You're attempting to destroy me." "Destroy you?" I echoed, reflecting her rationale. "I figured this was a transactional exchange. You struck a bargain with Mark. It appears you overlooked some risks. Perhaps you should have investigated your partner's vulnerabilities more thoroughly before combining resources." She was stammering, struggling to articulate. All she managed was, "You'll pay for this, Tom." "No," I stated, more convinced than ever. "My sole regret is failing to recognize your true nature earlier. We're finished, Chloe." Apartment, I ended the call and blocked her immediately. The rock continues tumbling. Update 2, it's been a week. Much can transpire in 7 days. The rock I dislodged didn't merely roll, it triggered a landslide. My colleague Kevin at the firm provided the detailed rundown. Jennifer, the wife, is evidently not one to cross lightly. It emerges she's more than a philanthropy coordinator. Her father established a venture capital entity that was among the initial. Apartment, I ended the call and blocked her immediately. The rock continues tumbling. Update 2, it's been a week. Much can transpire in 7 days. The rock I dislodged didn't merely roll, it triggered a landslide. My colleague Kevin at the firm provided the detailed rundown. Jennifer, the wife, is evidently not one to cross lightly. It emerges she's more than a philanthropy coordinator. Her father established a venture capital entity that was among the initial company. Her family retains a substantial equity stake. Jennifer personally holds seats on 2 corporate boards. She's not merely a spouse, she's a force. She didn't confront Mark with screams. No, she was far cleverer. She passed my email to her attorney, who then reached out to the company's board directly. She didn't present it as a mere infidelity. She positioned it as a top executive generating enormous risk for the organization, leveraging firm assets and advancements as payment for his private misdeeds and violating his contract and the company's code of conduct gravely. Mark had no defense. He was terminated by day's end. No exit package. The firm-wide memo the following morning was masterfully neutral and ambiguous. "Mark Smith has departed the company. We appreciate his past efforts and extend best wishes for his next chapter." Regarding Chloe, the repercussions were equally rapid. With Mark out, a temporary VP was named. Their initial action was auditing all of Mark's latest staffing choices. Chloe's advancement, not yet formally declared, was withdrawn instantly, awaiting a complete unit evaluation. So she wasn't dismissed, but in certain respects it was harsher. She was reassigned to her previous spot in the open layout workspace. Everyone was aware. The murmurs trailed her constantly. She became the woman who bedded the boss, caused his dismissal, all for an advancement that evaporated. She was an outcast. I sampled her altered standing personally. One of her office confidants messaged me angrily on social platforms, labeling me a spiteful beast for sabotaging Chloe's professional path. I replied with one response. Chloe deemed her choices driven. Turns out they were a poor wager. Inform her I extend best wishes for her upcoming pursuits. The friend blocked me. The closing scene unfolded yesterday. I received a text from Chloe's father inquiring about a suitable time to retrieve her belongings. I suggested Saturday morning. appearing weary and embarrassed. We boxed her items wordlessly. As he departed, he merely shook his head and muttered, "I'm sorry, Tom. This isn't how she was brought up." Just before shutting his truck door, Chloe arrived via rideshare. She dashed toward me, her complexion ashen and enraged. "You destroyed my existence," she shouted. "My professional life is finished due to you." "No, Chloe," I replied, keeping my volume low. "Your professional life is like this because you bargained, and it backfired. You risked and you failed." I merely revealed the other participant's hands. She stood frozen, silent for the first instance in our acquaintance. I pivoted, re-entered my apartment, and secured the door. Final update. 3 months have passed. The chaos has fully subsided, and I can now survey the terrain clearly. Chloe didn't endure long at her position. Per my friend Kevin, she resigned 2 weeks after her items were removed from my place. She couldn't handle the stares, the gossip, and the exclusion. She had rendered herself untouchable. Word is she's residing with her parents again, without employment. The marketing and PR circle in our city is tight-knit. A scandal like that with a prominent VP at a key firm circulates quickly. Her reputation is tarnished. Mark, the former boss, fares even worse. His separation will be epic. Jennifer is unrelenting. Her legal team is arguing his actions endangered investments she controls, and they're pursuing all assets. His executive trajectory is terminated. No firm will hire him. As for me, I'm faring better than anticipated. The initial month was tough, disentangling our lives and coping with the betrayal's impact. But now it seems a huge burden has vanished. I feel unencumbered. I actually secured a promotion at my workplace last month, one I achieved through diligence and fostering solid connections, not through deceit. The contrast amuses me. Gossip and the exclusion. She had rendered herself untouchable. Word is she's residing with her parents again, without employment. The marketing and PR circle in our city is tight-knit. A scandal like that with a prominent VP at a key firm circulates quickly. Her reputation is tarnished. Mark, the former boss, fares even worse. His separation will be epic. Jennifer is unrelenting. Her legal team is arguing his actions endangered investments she controls, and they're pursuing all assets. His executive trajectory is terminated. No firm will hire him. As for me, I'm faring better than anticipated. The initial month was tough, disentangling our lives and coping with the betrayal's impact. But now it seems a huge burden has vanished. I feel unencumbered. I actually secured a promotion at my workplace last month, one I achieved through diligence and fostering solid connections, not through deceit. The contrast amuses me. It is a ruthless environment and drive is essential. But ambition comes in two forms. There's the type where you construct your success, layer by layer, via skill and effort. And then there's hers, the variant seeking shortcuts by undermining others or exploiting them as platforms. Her drive was a counterfeit version of authenticity. She viewed herself as a savvy operator, but she was merely an unreliable companion. She placed a volatile, unethical bet, and the system self-corrected. Dispatching that email wasn't solely retribution. It was reflecting their actions back at her and her boss, revealing their true selves, and I have zero remorse.